back with Modern Challenge. We're 1-2 after that game after that loss to Miracle Control. This is a frankly unkeepable hand. We are on the draw. Going to try to talk neutrally to try to get my energy level back. My adrenaline is coming down. If you watch the last matchup, that was an incredible game of Magic. I am sad that no one knows who I am, so no one's going to see it, but I'm definitely going to post it in all of my circles. We keep that, hoping to see something on top. That's an interesting card on top. I feel like we just Ranger for it, though, so we're going to try to get a removal spell that we need and put that on the bottom. Ghostly Prison is our best hope here. So we're going to take a blue, which means another control matchup. Okay. I'm so mentally fatigued from that, and I don't want to do it again. But at least this game, if it is control, it's like drain their clock even more. Remember why you play Extirpate. Laughing helps. Laughing helps. That is one of the concerns that you get when you play a deck like this, is if you're at a major tournament, there's no time. There's so little time in between rounds to catch yourself. And every pro will tell you, this is a control match, it looks like, having time in between rounds, every pro will tell you, drinking water and eating a snack and having time to collect yourself in between rounds is such the difference maker. And it, along with the clock situation, is one of the reasons why I say don't play this deck at a big tournament if you're not committed to it. Like if you're just trying to spike a big tournament, yeah, you could just run hot and hit nothing but burn, but you could also just play 50-minute rounds every round. The fact that our first two games finished in 50 minutes combined, that is an exception. It is in no way, shape, or form the rule with this deck. The rule with this deck is expect to play all your rounds. Expect to take 40, 45, 50 minutes per game. Per match, I should say, not game. Whew. Breathe, breathe, breathe. We're already a hit on clock, so we got that going for us. Because that's what this matchup is. As you just saw. If you're watching this, talk to me in the comments about the clock in MTGO. It's a real thing. We're going to play Martyr here. Martyr over Ranger here because we don't have a second Ranger, so there's no reason to draw out a counter. And that's just a reality of the situation. Really salty. So when people go after my Mistveil Plains, I'm always curious. Because in some situations, it's a really good idea. Like here, if you're going to Field of Ruin something, absolutely Field of Ruin the Mistveil Plains, because I have 2 black sources already, so getting me off of black isn't beneficial in any way, shape, or form. But I have nothing in my graveyard. Let me pull up the graveyard so you can see. I have a land in my graveyard at that point. What are you getting by getting my Mistveil Plains? We can now run out Ranger. What's unfortunate is we want to land before we run out Ranger so we can crack Martyr after attacking, play Ranger. So a land is the optimum draw here. Because we need to, you saw how Jace crushes us, we need to get Jace off the battlefield as quickly as possible. Land. Hey, thank you, deck. I will say my draws have been very on point today. The draws have been what I need them to be so far. Like having an Extirpate in that game should have saved me. I misplayed. So far, the land I'm getting has been, nope, wrong answer. The land I'm getting has been really nice to get the lands. It's been really nice to get there. So, oh no, misclick, misclick, misclick. Ah. This is growth I need as a player. Growth I need to slow down. Keep everything in mind. I'm glad folks are getting to watch this. Like, for as long as I've been playing at Magic, the amount of silly mistakes I make are frankly inexcusable. And I'm gonna lose this game now. I'm gonna lose a lot faster than I would have had I not just slowed down and like recognize that like playing at the pace of a pro is for the pros. I'm not a pro. I'm not yet, maybe not ever, you know? So I need to be smarter about how I play. This is countered. This is countered. I had a chance to resolve it and I lost it. Hey, not countered. That means they have a path, which is fine. But we want our Serra and our Ballista here. Oh, they don't have a, what? Path on my next turn? Path when I attack? Greedy stuff? Path when I attack? They have 7 cards in hand, so I find it hard to believe they don't have a path. But hey, I'll take it if they don't. We take those. I apologize. We absolutely take those. Search. What's their play here? They just path, right? What are they discarding? Discard a Surgical Extraction when I have a Martyr in the graveyard. Interesting. Maybe they know something I don't. I don't know why you do that. I guess you can snap it back. Like, a card in the graveyard for them is just the same as a card in hand if they have Snapcasters. Condemn. Pretty condemn. Let's see what their answer to this is. We're at 7 lands, so we can just start gaining a bunch of life. They don't counter. I'm gonna test them. Let's test them here. They have a counter. They're baiting me, but sometimes you just have to do it, right? That's how we draw it up. I'm gonna cast a Walking Ballista for 1. That leaves me enough mana to Field of Ruin. Yeah, give me a counter. I want a counter right now. Give it to me. Give me your counter. They're thinking long and hard, and that's fine with me, like we said last game. Question is when they path it, because they will path it, or Miracle, or Wrath it. When they do that, do I ping Jace, or do I ping Teferi? If you're watching this, answer in the comments below. The timestamp should be about 10 minutes. If they win, I'm not even going to say if, when they remove the Ballista this turn or next, there it is, do we take the Jace Or do we shrink the Teferi? I think it's the Jace. I'm almost positive it's the Jace, and my logic behind that, I actually shouldn't have done anything there and just put it back on the bottom again. But that's an opportunity to kill Jace. So I think you take it because Jace gets us where Jace actually kills us fast, whereas Teferi just says you can't play Magic. Jace can actually end a game, whereas Teferi just says you don't play Magic for a while until I kill you. And they're so threat light, and we're so good at answering the threats they have with the Field of Ruins that we are just saying, okay, yeah, sure. Whatever you say by taking everything I own off the board with your Teferi. You're good. We're going to Field of Ruin one of the colonnades here. We do want to keep up a Field of Ruin for the search, but we want to take our opportunities where we get them. And one less planes to draw. It costs us nothing to Field of Ruin that Celestial Colonnade. Start martyring. Do they snap Surgical here? Like, that seems like a really good play. Snap Surgical seems like an excellent play. They do not. Love that we drew a path. Love that we can try to answer Colonnade. Obviously they counter it, but love that we can try to answer Colonnade with that. They had the snap to snap Surgical too. I wonder why they didn't. And it has a lot to do, in my opinion, with the fact that this deck is a little greedy. For a control deck, it's super, like, that's a greedy play. If you snap Surgical there, my game's functionally over, and you can kill me a lot faster. I'm not letting you path it. Why would I ever let you path it? If they snap Surgical there and take a second to be aggressive, they kill me so much faster. And that's why I don't really feel bad about the clock being an element of the game in this matchup. Because right there, they had an opportunity to save 5 to 10, like 3 to 5 minutes by snap Surgicaling me. And now what they have to do is keep answering Martyr. They had a chance to answer it, and then they tried to answer it with a path. Like, pathing a Martyr? What do you gain from pathing a Martyr? Other than losing a path. Whereas you could have just snapped Surgicaled. Maybe I'm being overly critical. Maybe I'm just wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not going to proc here. Settle the Wreckage was the card I was thinking of a little while ago. They run it. Like, I'm not going to proc here because I want to be able to do this. Are they about to Cryptic that back to their hand? I mean, live your dope life, Cryptic it back to your hand. Oh. We're at 6 planes. I mean, Emeria is irrelevant in this game. They will never allow me to Emeria. That helps answer Colonnade. And now we pass. There's the Teferi emblem. So now we start losing the game. Like I was saying in the last video, if you watched it, Teferi and Jace, very good at doing that. We're gonna not path here because we're at 43 life. Like they're killing us through Jace, not through damage, so the extra card is more relevant right now. Sure, why not? Let's just tap our mana. Let's just have 2 mana floating. I actually like this player's decision. Oh no, they did get the Emeria. I thought they didn't. I like this player's decision to go after my plains first because it's just as good as going after an Emeria. Oof. That's a big oof. Ooh. This person does not play. This player does not play. And I appreciate that about them. They're going to take a while to get Jace active, but it makes more sense to Fate Seal me right now. I feel like it makes more sense to Fate Seal me. But again, this deck and so many Magic players don't play with the clock in mind. And I think one of the things that I've been most appreciative about being a player who plays a deck that is so grindy, one of the things I've appreciated most is it hones my ability to manage the clock and also manage my opponent's management of the clock. Like at a big tournament, you'll be having to say things like, you know, talking to your opponent about pace of play, talking to your opponent about taking 30-second point turns. You'll have to do these things. We're just gonna pass turn at this point. Like, get your stuff going. Let's see how much clock we get them to waste. Let's see how quickly they realize we know we can't beat them and we are just draining their clock. Let's see how quickly they realize that. That's 15 seconds you just wasted, I think. Talk to me in the space below about managing the clock. I feel like it's a big deal that online has the chess clock. And people, when Mono White Martyr took down a modern challenge not too long ago, almost a year ago now, but not too long ago, a lot of the feedback was, of course, this deck doing that in paper? No. This deck doing that online with the chess clock? Absolutely. And it was shortly after the printing of Teferi, because Teferi does this. Next turn, we will play the Ghost Quarter to take the Colonnade. Because we have to. And it doesn't make sense not to. They are fate sealing me out of the game so they can get to Jace's ultimate. And they know that's how they win this game. Ah, spellbook out of this random spellbook. Going back, if you watched it, what I said about the last one. These games are grindy. Like, if you're going to be committed to this deck, be prepared to just hit the 2 button a lot. Because you will play blue-white, and it will be a little obnoxious. They're going to draw cards faster. I think that's a mistake on my opponent's part. Like, drawing cards runs the risk of you losing to your own mill. So I hope my opponent has counted their deck. I hope my opponent has counted their deck. knows that if they draw an extra card a turn, they still won't get mulled out. There's a Colonnade. They will see quickly that it makes 0 sense for them to keep upticking to Fairy. Yeah, and they saw it right there. So they're just going to pass back and forth to one another. At least with this opponent, I'm way ahead, so it won't be that kind of frantic pace. And I'm way ahead on time, so it won't be that just really difficult pace of play. This is Magic the way Richard Garfield intended it. I pass to you. You pass to me. I pass to you. You pass to me. And I know I sound groany about it in my voice, but I know I'm just as much a part of this as they are. So we've got to win game 2. I liked the sideboarding plan last game. I liked the Extirpate. I liked the Anguished Unmaking at instant speed. In both circumstances, I could have answered that Jace that they got me with. So we'll keep that in. I think bringing in a Disenchant over an Orzhov Charm is good. 2 Orzhov Charms, 3 Paths felt very strong. Whoopsie. 1 Prison, still fine. Do we cut the prisons entirely? I feel like we cut the prisons entirely. They have done nothing. We cut the Kami. Kami's useless in this matchup. We cut down the Burial and a Wrath and another Wrath. We have Gideons. We have Orzhov Charms. I'm going to take a moment to breathe here. 4 Serras, 4 Martyrs, 4 Rangers, and a Proc. We will take this time to breathe, though. It's important to breathe, and we have the sideboarding time for what it is. Drink some water and breathe. Like I said, our opponent had the opportunity to kill us a lot earlier. We will play first. Interesting, got a mullet, but an interesting hand. We'll keep this. We'll bottom that. Since we don't have the way to turn it on, we bottom that. Play Mistveil and pass. If you don't know this, it actually took me a while to learn this playing this deck. Like, always keep Godless Shrine flexible. I'm saying that for folks who don't know. Most of the people who are watching this immediately probably know, but play the Mistveil Plains or the Emeria first, and keep the opportunity to take 2. It's important to say these things. Opponent ups. Opponent tops from their opt bars. Let's get laughing again. I feel like I've been grinding too much. I can feel my shoulders kind of pulling up, and you have to notice that as a player. One of the reasons I'm streaming this is so I can know someone's watching and reflect on every element of my game, and the human element of your game is a part of your game. So when you feel yourself kind of hunching over the screen, using bad posture, pull your shoulders back, breathe deep, cast a spell that they have to respond to, and take a minute to stretch it out. We've been sitting for way too long because we were the last round, so we didn't have to get a chance to move around, use the restroom. They're going to counter this, which is smart. And when I looked at this hand, I was like, darn, 2 Squadron Hawks. But if they're willing to burn a Logic Knot on a Squadron Hawk, suddenly I like that double Squadron Hawk in the opening hand a lot more. So keep that in mind when you're playing a control deck. Most of the time, a 2 Squadron Hawk hand is like, darn. But here it's actually really strong, because they are scared of Squadron Hawk. They can't answer it, and they don't really want to have to spend paths on it. So make them. They don't want to have to spend removal on squads, so make them. They're going to counter this again and be down to 4 cards. Or they just let us get up to 7 and get ahead of them in the cards. Unfortunately, this opponent did play efficiently enough once they saw what was happening to keep a lot of clock for game 2. Snapped up. They bottom this time on their opt. Ban Jace here. No, land snap. They do not play the Jace. Interessante. We're gonna not run Gideon into a counter here. Even though they only have 5 cards in hand, they're clearly holding up counter magic. So we're going to not run Gideon into a counter, and we're going to hold up Anguished Unmaking in case they Teferi. We'll float a white. Again, someone committing to killing our Mistveil Plains. In this match, again, not a bad call here. I am curious as to whether or not Godless Shrine is the right play. Go ahead and let me know what you think. But with birds, you got to be careful, because I can Mistveil Plains back birds eternally if I get 2 permanents down. I will just happily keep bringing back Squadron Hawks that die. Let's try it. Now we don't take any damage. We can kill their colonnade. They have 4 cards in hand. Let's see if we can get it. Anguished Unmaking. Before they draw. So they have less of an opportunity to have the counter. Got there. That's how we do that. And now they might have a counter. So this is an interesting play. Let me know what you think if you watch this. This should be the 32 minute, 31-ish minute of the video. Do I untap, cast the Gideon here? Do I hold up Anguished Unmaking? Do I cast Ranger? What would you do here? They have 5 cards in hand. I'm going to cast the Gideon I'm going to not cast the Gideon because they just have so much mana up. And if they have double Teferi, we did it. If they Field of Ruin my Godless Shrine, we will have to get a swamp off of that. They're testing to see if I run a basic there, and I do. So we do that. We draw that up. They have 6 cards in hand, 5 cards in hand. The odds of them having another walker are high. Are they now counting clock? We're going to bait them here. We're going to try to bait something. Because this allows us to cast another Anguished Unmaking. This allows us to do things. They condemn. That's fine. Because Squadron Hawk gets that back. Here's the Teferi. So 1, 2. We're gonna have to really force this issue here. And hope to draw some lands. We're pulling lands out of the deck before they draw 4 cards in hand. It's the same situation. We will happily pay 3 life to not die to a Teferi. Never not have it, my folks. Never not have it. So they pay 5 mana to draw a card and untap some lands. A clever move here would be to Path to Martyr. They don't. Field of Ruin is such a good draw here. Field of Ruin is fantastic here. Sorry, gotta close that. Opponent's drawing a bunch of cards. Ugh. I don't know how to feel about this game. Our opponent has 8 minutes left. We're never going to be behind on clock. It's all about whether or not we can resolve this Gideon right now. They do not fail to find. Would have liked them to fail to find quite a bit. Would have been nice for them to fail to find. We gotta try it. We gotta start casting stuff. They have 5 cards. They have 5 cards. If they have counters, we just have to get them out of their hand. So we I'm going to send the Gideon to get a counter here. They tap differently. They have mana leak. Nope. No, can't pay 2. Next turn we try a Ranger, and then we try squads, and then we try... So... They are fate sealing us. They're going for the Jace answer. They're going for the Jace win here. Which is right. It's correct to go with the Jace win here. Now we actually have to... Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is there something? Nope. Gotta try it. They have a counter. Here's the Cryptic. Counter draw. Not enough time on the clock for us to run out. We need to draw pretty well here. Our opponent goes to Brainstorm. Not a lot of time on the clock here. We gotta draw really well. Search is a search. We gonna take 5 here. They're gonna gain a bunch of life. Down to 21. So Martyr is a card. We are going to cast a Serra and see what they do. There is a small opportunity if they don't have a counter or a path, which is a massive if. Like, let's be clear here. They have a counter or a path to stop what we're about to do. But if they don't, we Orzhov Charm back Martyr of Sands. Activate Martyr of Sands, go up to 33, block Lyra, kill Jace. Like I said, massive if, and they're brainstorming to make sure they have a counter or a path. Like, there's no way they don't. We're going to go for it because it's the only way we win the game. But they will stop it. It's just about how. Big money, no Emmys. Maybe we get them thinking for long enough to make the clock a factor in the game. I doubt it. Tapping blue, tapping white, Snapcaster Mage. Where is my rest in peace? Where are my extirpates? For Cryptic? For Logic Knot? For Cryptic. Counter draw. Obviously that's a lot better than being able to path it. We want them, in our case, we want them to path the Serra. What? Okay, we'll float. We'll float a colorless. Why are you ghost quartering me? Why are they ghost quartering me? Yeah, I'll use Ghost Quarter's ability. I've got one more planes. Did they miscount my planes? What was the Ghost Quarter for? What was the Ghost Quarter for? We'll take some big money damage here. So what we're gonna try now, since we're being just greedy, let's see what we draw. It's a Martyr. Martyr is a great draw. Martyr is an absolutely stellar draw. We're going to attack into that Snapcaster Mage. We're going to go for it here. Block me. Block me, you won't. You won't. Hey, regain a life. Let's drop a Squadron Hawk to try to block Lyra Dawnbringer. They are letting me resolve stuff, which may be really bad for them. There's a path. That's okay. We'll gain a bunch of life and still have a way to block Lyra Dawnbringer. And now we're up to 29. With the ability to gain a bunch more life. If they don't have a counter, which they do. Of course they have a counter. They have 5 minutes. They had all the paths. Yes, and see nothing. Next time we do the same thing. We go after Jace. To try to get them to do something. They're hitting us for 11 here. It's really strong. Whoa. Oh, first strike damage. I was like, what happened? I forgot Lyra Dawnbringer has first strike. So the damage actually takes longer to resolve. Our opponent brainstorming is actually really good for us. Because we're going to try to gain some life. And make some stuff happen. Rest in peace. Boo! 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 Great play. Hey, we can kill the comment. Have more paths then. See if I care. Oh no! I was about to Field of Ruin the Colonnade and then be like, oh, I have a land to play the other Serra. Ha ha. No more basics in the deck. This matchup is so silly. I was crap talking it earlier. This matchup is just so silly. What we doing? Looking at the top 4. I don't think there's a way we can stop what our opponent is doing. Like, we're just going to take so much damage. Our opponent not being able to answer a Wrath would be good. Wrath would be stellar here. I sided them all out, but it would be stellar here. So, opponent searches their library. Opponent's down to 3.5 minutes. I mean, it's possible. It's not going to happen, but we can try it. Actually, if right now we draw the Wrath of God, there's a 1 in 34 shot of us drawing a Wrath and ending this game. There is a 1 in 34 shot, and it has to happen next turn, that we can stave this off and run out our opponent's clock. That's not the Wrath. Does allow us to open up Hallowed Burial for the next turn. Our opponent's not going to pay as much mana, though. What a funky matchup. What just a wild set of 2 games. If our opponent can finish this quickly enough, we might get a chance to use the restroom before the next round. Whew. Welcome to the grind. Welcome to the grind of top level Magic. Oh, they're gonna Field of Ruin me. Oof. So now Hallowed Burial is closed off again. It needs to be a Wrath. They need to cast something. They de-sphere. Which one do they they de-sphere the Squadron Hawk, obviously. That is wild. Martyr buys us a turn. No, it doesn't. I actually can't cast it. We're going to concede and use the potty, I think. GG. Do we have time to use the potty? Do we have time to use the potty? 2 matches left. Thanks, guys. We're out. I'm going to keep playing, keep watching the videos. We're out of anything relevant. We can't even pretend like we're at a GP and trying to grind our way to a day 2. But keep watching. These have been the weirdest games of Magic. Keep watching.